Welcome, America. That's right, because America invents right here on the King's Broadcasting Network. I want to welcome all of you that's just rolling over to this hour from Home Talk USA. And I'm the Cajun contractor, Michael King. And now I'd like to welcome my partner in crime, the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Rita, how you doing, my girl, since the last time we talked?
Just fine, just fine. Staying busy and out of trouble. Darn.
I tell you, it seems like we just signed off last week again, and now we have to do it all over again, each week and every week. A lot going on. Um, it's towards the end of the year right now, and things are kind of calming down a little bit. But and what we do, it never actually calms down because there's always something that we need to discuss. And but this week, Rita, you want to talk about time. And I thought about this when I got it. I said, time not being a friend. And time just goes by and we get older and things happen and we just misplace things or we just forget about things or then we just wake up one day and said, man, where did the time went? I mean, and when it comes to what we do, time is everything. Timing is perfect. It has to be perfect. But you have to have a plan and you have to have something that's intangible to where you shooting for is that goal. And obviously the goal is to get your product on the market. So let's talk about that. What do you mean about time not being a friend, Rita?
Well, the interesting thing is the one thing you cannot invent more of is time. Once it's gone, it's gone. So for inventors, there's kind of an oxymoron there. It's like you can invent a lot of things and solve a lot of problems, but you cannot invent more time. But, life gets in the way for everybody. I had a brother-in-law pass away a week ago. Well, it's not like they say, I'm going to pass away next month. What day is convenient for everybody? It happens. Life happens. So what do you do? And this is where I tell inventors, it's like, when you give me your, I don't use a business plan with inventors. I want a time frame. I want a marketing plan. I want a budget plan. And it's like, okay, your time you think it's going to take and your money that you think it's going to cost, start out with doubling it. Whatever you think it's going to be, double it because life is going to get in the way. And the best thing you can do is get back on track. Put something on your calendar, if not every day, every week, to go and focus on what you're doing next. If you dropped the ball last week, get back on track. Pull that calendar out. What's next? Don't give up on marketing and getting your message out there because the economy gets bad. That's when you've got to do it the most. And so what we look at then is, we do the inventor roundtable meetings. It helps the inventors stay on track because they know I'm going to say, what have you done since I saw you last? And so when I reach out and think, oh, I haven't heard from Duane in a few weeks. What's going on? And he knows when he sees that text message, she's checking on me. And that's what I do because life gets in the way for all of us. And we've got to get back on track. Or what happens? The next thing you see is that your product is on the market and you didn't do it. You're not the one who got it out there. And it happens. I've had more inventors tell me it's like, oh, I was working on this and the next thing I knew, it's out there. And so when I say time is not your friend, when it comes to inventing, I really do mean it. Things take longer. Manufacturing takes longer. Getting the message out there so people know you're there, it takes longer. Then you get life gets in the way. It takes longer. And so staying on track is the critical message here. It's like, keep going, keep pushing, keep reaching. And that's what we help you do.
Well, you should have a time frame and you should shoot to that time frame. And we all realize that, when it comes to what we're talking about here, that problems arose. But again, we want to also mention that, don't rush it neither. I mean, so we're not saying, hey, keep it going, but you're only going to have one shot at this when your product hits the market. And we want to make sure that you introduce it with a bang and
Yeah.
not, and that's a problem too, is rushing it too. When you say, Rita?
Well, the big mistakes I see inventors make, all right, is that they wait and wait and wait to file their intellectual property. And that allows the window to open that somebody else can file. Because if you see a problem and you think that nobody else sees the same problem, you're wrong. You're just absolutely wrong. And so what we look at is get something filed so you're marking your spot. And then you go about developing. And if you've got, you've got 12 months to file now the non-provisional, you've got some options as making additions and corrections. So that's the first big mistake I see inventors make. They take too long and then they want to get it perfect. It's like, okay, no, perfect doesn't happen. Getting it right is different than waiting for it to be perfect. All right, so you get a proof of concept prototype out there. You can make changes and improvements. And then you're going to hand it off to someone like Noah McNeely. And Noah's going to need time because he's going to do some baseline prototypes and send it back to you. And he's going to say,
Yeah.
it would work better if we did it like this. It would work better if we do it this way. So prototyping is going to take longer as well.
Yeah.
And what we want is, you've got to be smart about the way you do this. So getting feedback, looking at what the options are, understanding that time is rather elusive out there.
And that's what I like about what we do here is that we have different inventors on that are in different stages of their of their product, where they at. We don't just have the finished guy here. We have people they went through a certain stage. Now they're getting ready to enter another stage, and that's what I like about it is that they can really educate our audience because they've been through the problems already, and all they're doing is backing up what we're saying.
Everybody's had the fantasy of being an inventor. Everybody does. Even I used to go to the invention convention at the fourth grade Christian school there in Denver. And, you had these they were so excited about their invention. It's like, okay, well, I've seen this 3 or 4 times, but this one is really cool. Let's talk to your parents. And, they'll get ideas going out there, but everybody has, they've seen the stories and they think, oh, wow, wouldn't that be cool? I'm a Thomas Edison, and so, yes, there's always been the drive. So what are the right steps? How do we help then support them? It's like, well, Mr. Consumer, this is a really cool product. Go out there and talk to Mike Wood and get a gutter diverter. I bought one after I had him on the show. And, I've bought products from some of the guys you've had on the show. Yeah. So it's really fun to be able to go out and see those products in the marketplace. But it's great to be able to tell an inventor, it's like, did you think of doing it like this? Maybe you could call it this. And helping them get through those steps in a more timely manner.
Yeah, that all makes sense, and that's what we excited. But hey, we only got about a minute or so left, and then we're going to introduce. So, who we have on the show today?
Well, Duane Genzlinger is from Colorado. He's got 2 products that are now looking at being licensed, but they're on the product, so they can be purchased. Then he's got a new one that he's working on, but we're not going to tell anybody about what that one is. And then I've got Wendy McDaniel on. She's patent pending right now. She's got a new type of baby product, so we're going to talk about that. She's not as far along as Duane because Duane's working on his 3rd product and he's got product in the marketplace. So she's one of those that's just getting started, but we're trying to create then demand for her product. So she's going to be able to talk about that. My industry expert is Noah McNeely. He has done prototype, get things teed up for manufacturing. So he understands that time frame that a lot of inventors have to face.
Yeah, and I tell you, great show. And but Rita, before we get into that, there's some announcements we have to make. Is that you're setting up next year's show, right? A whole bunch of shows you're lining up right now, right?
Absolutely. So we've got multiple scales on this. We're setting up cool new products to get on for Made in America. We're looking at getting Made in America products to the ASD Market Week because they've got the Made in America Pavilion. We are going to a show here in a few weeks that is got a Made in America Pavilion. So we're looking at bringing in a lot of those products so people can talk about them so we can really support then the Made in America part of this show.
All right, up against the clock, we got to take a short break. This is the Invent America show right here on the King's Broadcasting Network. We want you to stay with us. We're going to be right back with our first guest. Yay! Y'all come back now. You hear?
Don't worry, I will.
Okay, I'm glad because we need you. All right. And Duane, it's really nice to see you.
All right, Rita, you can take over. I'm gonna back
off. Who's coming up next here?
Duane is coming up next. Duane, unmute yourself, darling.
I just asked him to unmute.
Okay. All right.
It's your train now, Miss Rita.
Okay, we got this. Hang on just a second. Let me mute my phone so it doesn't go ding, 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 and get my.
Duane, just need you to unmute if you
Yep.
can hear me.
Duane, darling, you got to unmute.
Mute. There we go.
There you go.
Oh, there
There
we
you
All
How
right.
go.
about,
All
how
right.
about now? There we
There
are.
Very
you go.
good.
Now we
Very
can hear
good.
you.
Loud and clear.
All right, I am going to
I'm a slow
do
learner.
a read-in and for an advertisement, and then you are going to, then I'll start talking to you, and you can talk a little bit. Okay?
Okay.
And before everybody starts talking, I'm going to start talking.
There you go.
Right. So this is going to be our segment two in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mics are open.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Invent America, because America invents. We solve America's problems. We take them to the market so that you, Mr. and Mrs. Consumer, can buy them. So this segment is brought to you by Aztec Washer, the revolutionary and innovative roofing products since 1968. Holy cow, seal it right, seal it tight, aztecwasher.com. And my guest right now is Duane Genzlinger. I've known Duane, oh, golly sakes, what, going on 15 years now. And he is out of Colorado, has got a couple of building products on the market. And Jerry Hammerskill. Jerry is his partner.
Hanley.
Jerry Hanley. Hammerskill Homes is the name of the company. There, I knew there was a Hammerskill in there someplace. Jerry
There you
Hanley is
go.
his partner. And you've got a couple of building products that are out there. And then you've got a new one that you're working on. Can't talk about that security yet, going towards the security area. But tell us what you've got.
As far as, well, it's the box slider, which is one of them. It's an electrical device that moves the receptacle over. You don't have to cut the plate. And then I've got the snapper, which is a one-man chalk box. So you don't need somebody to come over and help you snap a line. You can do it yourself with your thumb.
I wanted to make
So
sure it wasn't a fish.
no, I don't know. It's not a fish.
Good to know. You didn't
That's a
invent
good
the
idea,
snapper.
though.
So you've got products that are very specific then to the remodeling construction world.
Yes, both of them. The snapper can be used in new construction, in a lot of different, you know, even in sewing, it could be used. It's just a chalk line that, it's within hand's reach, anything that you want to chalk. And,
Well,
you'll just leave it.
I remember when we were doing some remodeling, and it was always, honey, come here and hold this. Honey, come here and
Yeah,
hold this, because you couldn't do a chalk line unless you had somebody coming and holding the other end of it. And what you have done is made one that is one person comfortable.
yeah. I've held, with my feet and everything else, sledgehammers, and, you chalk a line. This, all you have to just pull, and it's got a thumb latch on it that just snaps the line for you.
So very
And
cool. You've gone to some trade shows with us, and everybody that saw the snapper was just thinking, this is just really cool.
yeah, we've had a lot of interest in it. I just need to get it on the market, so that's my biggest thing. How do we get it out there? That's where I'm
Right,
working with
'cause
you.
you've got the ability to manufacture. So you've been making them as you've been selling them, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So where would someone go to find you?
Let's see, Duane Genzlinger 76 at gmail.com. And
Do you have a
go ahead.
website for the product?
I do have a website that
There you go.
I just started, and in fact, I'm going to have to send that to you because I'm still working on putting the slider on that. The box slider is on that, but the snapper is not, and my daughter is going to put that on there. And
All
then
right.
I'll send it to you.
Would you hurry up and do that, please?
I'm trying.
All right.
It's like time. It's just like time. It gets in the way.
Oh, time is not your friend, right?
I know it exactly.
Because it goes by so darn fast, and you can't invent more of it. So what
I
has
know.
been your biggest challenge?
Probably getting it to the public. That seems to be the biggest one. When the people that have it, they love it. but just to get it out there so people to see. That seems to be the biggest one on
You
both
know,
products, actually.
I remember a movie, years ago. It says, if you build it, they will come. It does not work in inventing.
No, it doesn't. Because we've had a lot of interest earlier, and then all of a sudden you go stagnant, and you don't know where to go, and so it's like starting over every day.
That
So
is true. Well, and for a lot of inventors, it's like you've got a day job. So you're going
yeah,
to work every day. And
yeah,
if there isn't somebody out there doing the marketing and the social marketing and getting it out there onto the website, by the time you get home, you're tired and you want
you're tired.
dinner and
Yeah,
you got another day to work to go to, and it's not considered social media.
no, that's true. We've we're tired.
Yeah.
Just, hmm,
I understand. I
exactly.
understand. So the big idea is, how do you get it out there? And as far as, when we say time is not your friend, I think when it gets to the marketing part, time is probably the biggest challenge that inventor faces when it comes to marketing. Because like we were talking, how do you take the time from your day job to get it done, and then be able to, because marketing can be a full-time job, just like your day job.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you can't say, oh, I'll do it tonight. I'll do it tonight. I'll do it tonight. Pretty soon it's Friday night, and I'll do it Monday morning. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh no, shoot, I got to go to work and earn a living.
I'm working on the third one in the shop, and you do Saturdays and Sundays out there, and then you got a football game you have to watch. But I don't know, you got to get your priorities straight, I guess.
I didn't know. If I knew that that's what you were doing, was going in to watch a football game on a Sunday afternoon, I would have sent you a lot more, little images and saying, get to work, get to work, get to work.
I understand.
So, and I know your wife, and I've got her phone number too. So I might have to call her and say, get over
You
there
might
and, poke him with a stick because he needs to go back to work.
push her a little bit, huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot. Well, Duane, I'm hoping that you're able to join us at ASD Market Week this year, because we are actually literally right across from the tool section. And so I think that that'll be a really good spot for you. We know some of the guys there now, and would love to have you come and show off with us.
Yeah.
It's interesting that, when we've started now going to, this different trade show, and it has made a huge difference for the inventors who have gone there with us. So we're going to get that information out to you. I know that we have got ASD Market Week is going to be on with us in a couple of weeks. So if you want to know more about ASD Market Week and the different types of products, I know that they have a Made in America pavilion, and what they're promoting for consumers there. Stick with us, everybody, because you know what? We have got great weeks lined up coming up over the next few months. But we will be right back now with another inventor talking about a baby product. And so we're going to go from construction to babies, and we love the way that rope swings. Stick with us. We will be right back after we go and pay some bills.
All right. There we go.
All right, Duane, you did a good job. It was good to see you.
Well, good to see you. I will send you that well, not email, but my Facebook, and then everything that she's created for us. All right.
Excellent, excellent. And tell Sona
All
I
right.
said hi. All right.
I will. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Is Noah,
Nope, no, Wendy McDaniel is supposed to be next. Is that the
is that the
iPhone
one that
person?
says iPhone on it?
It might be. It might be.
Let me
Wendy,
see.
if that is you, unmute.
I think I just did.
Okay,
It's
there
me.
you are. Can we see you?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Um, Here we go.
There we go.
There you are. Hi, how are
Yeah.
you?
I'm good, and you?
Just fine. And yes, you were all filed and taken care of. So just a note. Okay.
All right.
All right. Count us down, sir.
All right. This is going to be hour two, segment three in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mics are open.
Hello, America, and thank you so much for being with us for this segment of Invent America. So we love the way the pendulum swings, and we get to talk about all kinds of different industries and inventors in different spots. This segment is brought to you by Bond Products. It is a DIY carpet binding. There is only one Instabind, and it is bondproducts.com. So if you've got any kind of fraying carpet rug out there, bondproducts.com will solve the problem for you. And this show is brought to you by King Productions. So thank you so much to Michael King and his team for making sure that we can get the message out there. My next guest is Wendy McDaniel. She has got a baby product that she is trying to get to the marketplace. Wendy, thanks so much for being with us today.
Hi, good morning or afternoon now.
Well, depending on where you are between the coastlines, it could be either one. So the Pacifier Training Device, explain that.
So I'm a registered nurse and I worked in the NICU, and premature babies tend to not they don't have their suck reflex. So at the time I was working with babies and trying to get them to learn how to eat. And one thing that has been proven through research is that non-nutritive sucking helps them develop that sucking reflex and helps them to develop the muscles in their mouth. However, they're not able to hold the pacifier in their mouth for very long, so it doesn't really benefit them. So I've developed a little product to just wrap around from the back of the neck to the front to hold the pacifier into their mouth so that they can get the training that they need to develop that sucking, to be able to take their bottle, to be able to eat well, to go home. And
Excellent.
so my goal is that they are able to shorten the time that they're in the NICU.
And I'm sure that the parents are, they can't wait to get your product because that's, time, money, love, the hands-on, the emotional connection is all delayed by the longer they have to spend in the NICU.
Yes, exactly. And it can take a couple of weeks to a month for them to even learn to eat after they've gotten healthier, they've stabilized and everything, and now they have to learn to eat and grow so they can go home. And it can take a while because that they wait to start bottle feeding for several weeks. They get tube fed, so they're not sucking. They're not learning that process of sucking fills my belly. I'm sucking, I'm getting food. And so when they start to take a bottle, they don't know what to do with it. And it does take time for them to learn.
So what has been your greatest challenge going through this?
Uh, Finding someone to help me develop it, to market or manufacture it, and now marketing because I'm not very creative when it comes to that. So,
That is not the first time I have heard that because generally when you're really good at your job, unless your job is marketing, you're probably not really good at marketing the
uh,
product.
yeah, I'm not very good at it. I have it in my mind what I want, how I want it, but getting it out there, I've been delaying that. I'm working on manufacturing now. Hopefully before too long, I'll have a real product for it,
Okay.
actually made so that it will make sense. Talking
Okay.
about it makes it sound like I'm just making something to hold the pacifier in their mouth so when they cry, parents can put it in their mouth and hold it in there and they won't cry. That's not the purpose of this, but not having something to show how it's going to work and what the purpose of it is it's a little bit of a challenge.
Excellent. So you've got someone then working on creating the proof of concept prototypes for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. And then once you've got proof of concept, do you think that you'll be able to do a short run if the pricing is right? And what we refer to a short run is, maybe 500, 1,500 units.
Yes, ma'am.
That's excellent. All right. Well, when you need help, all right, you let me know because
Okay.
we've got really good people that can get you through those different phases. And when you get ready then to get teed up for that marketing piece, you let me know as well. And we've got folks that can, step in and give you a hand. and that we've used for years. So we've used vetted service providers like Noah McNeely, who is going to be on the next segment. And we've learned that there are some real scoundrels out there and there are some really good guys out there. And we want to be able to provide all of our inventors with really good guys so that when, as you're going through the steps now, we've got listeners ready for this product. When they hear you talking, Wendy, it's like, okay, my best friend had a baby in NICU. I'm pregnant. What happens if I've got a baby in NICU? What happens if my daughter or my son have a baby that ends up in NICU? Because it happens all too often.
Yes, ma'am.
And, we want to be able to make this product available. Do you feel that your product is something that's going to be sold through hospitals primarily, or from parents primarily, or a combination 50-50?
I expect mostly through hospitals. Like I said, it's a medical device. I don't want parents to think, oh, I don't want my baby crying, so I'll get this and shut them up. And I feel like if it's out there for just anybody, that's where it would go. And that wasn't the purpose. So plan to focus mostly on hospitals.
Okay. All right. All right. Good to know. I would imagine the doctors as well, the pediatricians.
Yes, ma'am. And I've talked to some lactation nurses as well, and occupational therapists as well, because they're the ones who can assess the baby and what they need and how much time it will take them to learn to take their bottle. So they work with them regularly for this purpose.
All right. All right. Well, we've got some contacts at those big distributors into the hospitals and the doctor's offices. So when you've got your proof of concept prototype and maybe a short run that we can send them some samples, you let me
Yes.
know and we will stay in touch for all of that. So
Perfect.
then is your goal then to create a business and go into manufacturing, or is it going to be licensing?
Possibly licensing. We'll just have to wait and see where it goes.
Well, if you don't know, a good licensee, they're going to make it, sell it, and send you a check. If you do the manufacturing thing yourself, you are going to constantly be going to the bank to take money out.
Yeah.
And for most folks, when that is not your sweet spot of, comfort zone
Right.
of working, it's like, no, license this now and send me my check. I would rather keep my day job.
Yeah. Well, I hope to retire, so I won't need a day job.
Well, there you go. There you go. And maybe then time will be your friend.
Yes.
That would be nice. That would be nice. So anyway, we are looking forward to helping you out, getting the product out there, and being able to help other inventors as well. So everyone, if you are an inventor, you want to be an inventor, you know someone who is an inventor. All right, we do the inventor roundtable meetings. We've got, one coming up where we're talking about, do you manufacture in the US or do you manufacture in another country? Are you going to do it here or there? And for a lot of inventors, yes, they would rather do it here. That is not always an option. So we're going to be talking about things like that. We have attorneys that come on. We get people like Noah McNeely who come on and talk specifically answering questions. So if you know someone that needs to join us, the meetings don't cost anything. All you got to do is log in and join us. And if you need a good service provider, let me know, because we have got a pool of vetted service providers who can help you out. So we're going to take a quick break, go and pay some bills, and we will be right back with our industry expert for today. So again, thank you to King Broadcasting for making sure we can get our message out there. Stick with us, everybody. We will be right back.
You got out early.
I did, sometimes I'm just, run out of things to say. I'm not supposed to say that. I'm a woman.
You just say the same thing a different way sometimes, and that'll work.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So, all right, Wendy, it was really, really nice to have you. Thank you so much. And we'll get you back on when you've got that proof of concept ready to go.
Okay, thank you.
All righty, take care now. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right, Noah,
Hello.
how are you?
Busy as usual. How about yourself?
All right.
Excellent. So, and you got my text. I need about a 10, 15-second commercial from you that we can post in between some of our segments.
All right. You know, I'm from the South. It takes me 10 seconds just to say the first word sometimes.
We can edit it.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All right.
I can say something quick.
All right. All right. You can count us down. I will do our read-in.
All righty. So this is going to be the final segment. Hour 2, segment 4, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mics are open.
Hello, everyone, and thank you again for being with us for this segment of Invent America. And our sponsor for this segment is none other than Noah McNeely with Product QuickStart. And he is also our guest. It is really wonderful to have our sponsor on as our guest at the same time, because generally we move those read-ins around, so people are hearing about your sponsorship on, Home Talk or on Made in America, but I get you all to myself today. So that's really wonderful. Thank you, Noah, for being with us today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
So Product QuickStart, what is it?
So I've been developing product for 25 years, helping inventors develop, prototype, manufacture their items. I started Product QuickStart to provide an efficient service for startups and inventors. And I'd love to talk to anyone out there that thinks they need help. And I'll tell you the truth, whether I can help you or not.
Well, and I think that that's one of the big things is that, everybody's got their sweet spot on, doing a prototype. So when I get to, we can do anything, it's like, maybe not. But when you tell an inventor, it's like, this is not my sweet spot, this is what you need to look for, helps them tremendously move on in a timely manner.
Yeah, and I'm at a point in my career, I don't need to finagle anyone to do a project with me if it's not a fit. So if I can't help you, I probably know someone that can, and I'm happy to pass you along.
So help our inventors understand. And, I think a lot of times, the consumers find this really interesting because they don't understand how long it takes to get from mind to market. Mm-hmm. It can be years to get from, let's solve this problem, I've got a great idea, to the point where someone can actually buy it. Why does it take so long, Noah?
Well, there are a lot of reasons. And to be honest, sometimes I work on a project where I can get it to the market in 6 months if it's a simple thing and things all just sort of fall into place. Other times, you're right. I have earlier in my career worked on some projects for very large companies. It may take them 2-3 years to get something to the market, especially in things like the medical space or places with a lot of certification requirements. So there's no magic answer. I think the real answer is using your time efficiently and not getting stuck on any one thing. But the right time period for one product may be 6 months. It may be a year for another product. It might be something longer for a third product. The key is just not getting stuck at any stage of that process.
Well, I think, the gentleman that we had on earlier, Duane, super guy, but he can take forever to do a prototype. It's absolutely amazing because he just gets so crazy about wanting it done in his garage. Okay, So I give him, kudos for that. He's got 2 good ones that are out there that work so well, and they're game changers in the industry. And that's what we want to see, and that's what he strives for. So I give him a lot of thumbs up for wanting to make sure that it's functioning properly. And, you're right. When we see then, anything with software takes longer. Something simple like a new hammer, it's amazing how long it can take sometimes to do a new hammer. We had one of those last year. And then there's something else, like you said, when the inventor it's in their sweet spot, their industry spot, sometimes it can go a lot quicker.
Yeah, I mean, it's a balancing act. I mean, like you said, your gentleman that wanted to do it all himself in the garage, I look at it like a home improvement project. If my wife and we're going to paint the room ourselves, yeah, I'll get to it eventually, or I could hire somebody to do it and it'll be done tomorrow. There may be things in our house, like my wife says, we really want to rewire the basement for a hot tub. I may get to that and it might kill me along the way, or I can hire someone else to do it. So it's always finding that right balance, what you want to do yourself versus what you want to bring in help to do versus what you really shouldn't do yourself. And that everyone's different. That answer, that solution is different for every single person and every single product.
Oh, absolutely. I know we had a little bit of a plumbing issue, and my husband, bless his heart, goes, "Oh, I think I can fix this." And I said, "Nope. We are going to be calling Bobby to come over and fix this." And Bobby comes over and he sees what needs to be done and he fixes it. And my husband goes, "I am really glad you called Bobby." So there are certain things that you realize this is not my sweet spot, and you go ahead then and find somebody. It's like using different service providers. It's like, all right, well, I shouldn't be writing my own patent. There's a reason you pay these guys, a lot of money. There's a reason it took them years to go to school to learn how to speak in this crazy language that nobody can understand. And, that's what it's got to be. And it's the same thing with looking then at that professional prototype, the sexy prototype, where if somebody's looking at the prototype at a trade show and they can't tell the difference between a manufactured version and the Noah McNeely version, that's a good prototype.
Right. And unless you're a skilled craftsman, a skilled carpenter, or whatever it is, you probably just don't have the skill set to do that. I'm not saying I'm smarter than anyone else. I just have done it for a long time. I know exactly what processes to use. I know exactly who to go for to get this material or that material that simulates what it's going to be in the real world. And that's, like I said, I've been doing it 25 years. So some of that took a long time to learn.
Well, it does. And I think you hit on a key factor there. It's like I will get inventors that come to me and they'll say, well, it should be made out of something like this. And, they go to someone like you and it's like, did you think about this? And it's like, didn't even know that existed. Right. So learning through, those stages is really critical for the inventor. And learning how to, what their options are can make a huge difference just in the manufacturing cost.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, people will come into my office and they have this preconceived idea. It's going to be this way. By the time we're done with the first meeting, we're on a different path because I've explained to them their way is going to cost way more than they could even sell the product for. But this other way does everything they want. And yet now it actually makes sense from a business standpoint, more so than just, hey, I've got a great idea standpoint.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that great idea and getting to then the manufacturer's prototype. And it takes time and diligence and persistence. Man, you have got to be focused to get it out there. And so we appreciate the fact that you were able to, be on, shed some light on this. We will have you on again. And thank you so much for being a sponsor for Invent America. We are grateful. And
my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So anyway, everybody, we will be back with the Made in America segment of this. And we love being able to share with you the stories of what it takes to manufacture right here in the great USA.
All right. So you were out about 30 seconds early, but that's okay.
Oh, just cut it back, darling. You know how to do it.
Yes.
Or,
stretch it out.
Stretch it out. I talk really slow. I was thinking it's like I could start talking again. I thought of something to say, but then on the other hand, it's like, no, we'll just let you cut it down.
All right.
Is he going to fire me because I was 30 seconds short?
No.
Okay, there we're good. All right, we're good. Noah, thanks so much, dear. And shoot me over that 15-second video when you got it. 10 seconds, sure. 20 seconds, we're not going to,
So just me talking.